Coming to you, pre-recorded in multiple locations. Some people dress to impress, competitive eaters dress to ingest, and that's hella rad. We're your hosts, Andrew and Nathan. Nathan, how you doing? What you drinking?
Well, my New Year's resolution was to never do this podcast again, and here we are. So, thanks a lot, asshole, for making me break yet again another New Year's resolution.
You lasted 3 months, so
yeah.
It's better than a resolution to exercise, because that's all nonsense.
Yeah, I guess I stuck it out longer than most people would with the resolutions of exercising. So actually, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you for the sunny side up. I am just drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Nothing exciting. Oh, yeah, and also Kessler whiskey at the same. That's a lot more exciting, yeah, so.
You drink Kessler Baby because you know what you want? Oh man. You need to like sing that while you're like, I'll just stop there then. I'm drinking Thorn Street's Relay IPA. I think I've drank this like 3 or 4 times on the podcast, so no reason to waste time explaining anything about
Have
it.
you? Because when you said that, I felt like I've never heard you say that before. But I guess I just kind of tuned this part out anyways. So.
Yeah. Shows how much you pay attention to the things that I say, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, right. So let's get into our non-sponsors before we break down what the show's going to get into. You want to start us off?
Yeah, just as a quick reminder for the new year, fuck Gatorade, and they'll never be a sponsor. I don't think I've mentioned that recently. So yeah, just a reminder. But what I did want to talk about is Credit Karma. They have this fucking commercial that the idea is they're the non-sponsor, by the way, Credit Karma. But this guy he's on the top of the roof of a parking garage, and they're trying to show that it's so easy to use this to fucking get a better credit score. So he's swiping on the app, and every time he swipes and gets a better score, his car turns into something better, like a better model. You get the idea. And then the fucking last one, so he's got the nice car. He swipes again, and he's got the 800 credit score. And the only thing that changes is now that there was a baby car seat in the back of this car, and it transforms into a fucking bike and mounts itself to the back of the car. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. So you're sending a lot of mixed messages here. It's like you got a high enough credit score because you're intelligent enough to know that you should be mountain biking instead of having children.
Well, is it a choice? I mean, you could choose I don't need a fucking kid anymore. I got this fucking badass credit score.
Your credit score is so good, we know you can afford to pay for a fucking nanny to watch your kids so you can go fuck off and do whatever you want, so you don't need to lug that little shit around in a car seat.
I guess that's about as close to a reasonable explanation as we'll get with it. It drives me nuts because they set up the whole premise, which is stupid already. Like, you could argue the merits of having a better credit score and continually spending more money as like a good thing. But I understand what they're doing. Okay, better car, credit score, blah, blah, blah. But then at the end to throw that in, it's just so weird.
Yeah, like the better move would have been to like keep the car seat in there and like swap to like a nicer car with a car seat still in there, or get rid of the car and the car seat and go to like a fucking like Corvette or some other like nicer car. But like it's just weird that the last credit jump goes from the same car, but you swap out. It's all the only change from what was it, like 800 or 750 to 800 was fucking the car seat switches to a mountain bike, like with a bike rack. It's like, this fucking does not make any sense.
Maybe it's to climb the last leg of the credit score mountain, you need a fucking badass mountain bike or something. I don't know. It's just so...
Yeah.
But yeah, so them, just because of that fucking, I'm sure they hired an agency to do that commercial for them, and the fact that they hired the agency, let them put that out there, and didn't like demand that they redo it or get their money back. Yeah, fuck that company.
My non-sponsor for today's episode is Orange Vanilla Coke. There's multiple angles to this, but the first thing that pissed me off about this was like fucking Orange Vanilla Coke. That's orange creamsicle, bitch. Like, just call it orange creamsicle flavored Coke. Like, I know you guys can fucking afford whatever licensing to fucking popsicle brand that has that name covered, but that's what we all know it as, because you're gonna read that orange vanilla, I wonder what that tastes like. Oh, that probably tastes like an orange creamsicle, because that's the only other fucking thing I've ever heard of that uses that flavor combination.
They probably own that company that has the creamsicle verbiage anyways. They probably own that.
Yeah, they probably do. That's the reality of it. What drives me more insane, though, I think about it, was the radio station that I heard this on. So San Diego has a station called 91X. It's like 91.1, and it's like your typical like alternative rock station, but it's owned by some company in Mexico. So all of the advertisements on there are usually like Mexican political ads, and the people doing the voiceovers are like, they're like, well, it's well-spoken English, but it's the way it's said, it's like weird. It's not like their first language. So they talk like this. Or it's like, go to the Mexican embassy, learn to vote, do this, do that. And so like the Orange Coke commercial, it's like, try Orange Vanilla Coke. Orange Vanilla Coke, it's great. Try Orange Vanilla Coke. Orange Vanilla Coke. And it sounds like I'm exaggerating it, but it's literally where they're just fucking repeating the same fucking line over and over again in the same like weird like English. It literally will drive you insane. Like, I don't think I could listen to this fucking station for more than like 30 minutes at a time without losing my shit.
So it's kind of like the theme of the station to do this.
Yeah, that all their commercials, all of them are just the fucking way they speak, and like anybody here that's listened to it will know it's just fucking maddening. Like, because they're not like native English speakers, but they try to pass it off like that, and it just like there's like something's wrong, but you can't quite place it, and it's just what drives you nuts.
Well, I don't know if that means they're targeting a certain demographic, but Orange Vanilla Coke's definitely targeting a certain demographic. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
What's the demographic that Orange Vanilla Coke is targeting?
I'm just gonna say that they're targeting a specific demographic.
Okay. Leave the rest to your imagination.
And it's a San Diego radio station. Yeah. Do I have to keep connecting the dots, or?
No, I think I got you now. So today's show, we're going to do another edition of Hella Bad Music. We're gonna get into some more hella fancy topics, and then we'll do another Power Underwhelming, and then finish it off with a Faberge Egg update that I know our audience so desperately craves. But before we get into any of that, I had a story I wanted to talk about that I just fucking couldn't believe this happened to me. So I am going to lunch one day, and I stop at Five Guys Burgers near my work. And I go there like once a week, like don't think anything of it. And I've dealt with this cashier before, and she always seemed a little odd, but I never really, was never really cause for concern. But this time, the conversation went a little differently. So I order my food, and I don't get soda with lunch, because it's like I'm already eating garbage. At least I can drink some water.
Good call.
And not ingest like a pound of a fucking cup full of sugar to make it less bad. So I'll finish my order. She's like, oh, do you want a water cup? And I'm like, no, I'm good. She's like, are you sure you don't want a water cup? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. You know, I got a whole like thermos full of water back at the office, so I'm just gonna drink that when I go back. And she's like, so oh, where do you work? And I'm like, okay, well, I work here. You know, I do like product development stuff. She's like, oh, really? And she's like, how much do you make? And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, what? So I'm like, so I tell her, I'm like, okay, I make like this much. And I'm like, why? Like, why do you ask? Are you like interested in getting into this industry? And she's like, no, I just like to find out how much people make. And then if I find out, if I know that they make more than me, I tell them I hate them. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, the other people I've told this story were like, well, shit, fucking this girl works at Five Guys. Like, everybody that comes in there is gonna make more money than her. So, like, why the fuck would you say this? So I'm just like, just, you know, like, you're kind of deer in the headlights in the moment. Like, you don't even know how to respond to some shit like that. So I'm like, well, that's probably made you a lot of friends, and then just take my receipt and fucking walk off. And this happened, probably like a couple months ago now, and I have not seen her in there since.
That's so... Yeah, I thought it was going to go a totally different direction with that story. I thought she was going to be like, how much you make? And you tell her, she's like, I have a unique investment opportunity for you.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Like, try to get you in on the next Big Connect or some shit. Like,
my boy Carlos has got some opportunities for you. His wife has told him otherwise, but fucking he knows better than to listen to her.
What am I gonna do? But no, like, so was she a younger girl? Was she older? Like, that's a really strange.
She was like probably somewhere between like 18 and like early 20s.
Oh, yeah. Just a young, angry teenager.
My thought is like she was having like a bad day and like probably found out one of her coworkers was making more, or she didn't get a raise, or like some shit related to money. So she was all fucking pissed off, and like, but you know, taking that out on the customers is like the dumbest thing you can do. Like, I would never like complain to a manager, but if she did that to anybody else and they did, she would have been fucking fired. And I'm sure that's probably what happened, because I doubt I was the only person that she had such a weird conversation with that day.
Yeah, I could think of some entitled old white people that wouldn't take so well to that. They'd be like, where's your manager? I want to talk to your manager.
Well, most people probably would have fucking known better than to tell her what their salary is when she asked a weird question like that. They're like, no, I'm not going to answer that, ma'am. Like, sorry. And then it would have just shut down there. But I gave her the opportunity to make the whole thing go so much worse.
What do you think she would have did if, or what do you think Martin Shkreli would have did if she was asking him the questions? Do you think he would have answered? He seems like he would have been like, oh, yeah, I make millions of dollars.
He's like, why don't you come back to my house and listen to my Wu-Tang album, and I'll really tell you about what I do for my job.
I don't know why I brought up Martin Shkreli again. I know we just talked about it before. But I do, but that age, I don't know. Maybe it's not necessarily just that young of an age, but just a general kind of generation, or the, like, I don't know, but resentful of people on the other side of the desk, right? Or the other side of the counter.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like you said, it's pretty much everybody that goes in there is going to, in her mind, be someone that she hates. So it's just more about that they're on the other side of the counter as opposed to like anything else. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty strange.
Yeah, I was just really thrown off.
Big surprise that you don't see her there anymore, huh? But
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. It reminds me of how much I hate dealing with baristas. I don't know. I don't go to get coffee very often, but every time I do, they're Like, I just get like regular black coffee, and I get like scolded for that. I'm like, this makes your job easier. You fucking wait. You get. I don't want your art piece of a fucking latte. You think your job's so cool, fucking barista? Like, you look down at me just because I'm like,
what the fuck are you harassing me for?
I'm like just because I'm not. It sounds so stupid trying to say, but I swear to God, I go in these fucking like little coffee shops, especially the one in Japantown. Like go in there and she's all got her tats and stuff and everything's cool. It's like, oh, hey, just because I look like some normal person. Yeah, you know, just a little mocha there. It's like, yeah, okay, that'll be like $3.95. Like, oh, fuck you. Like, what did I really? I just want some fucking coffee. Like, why are you such a bitch just because I don't have tattoos or look like a cool punk rock guy?
I had the same fucking thing. Yeah, it's just so ridiculous to me that they fucking get mad at you for this kind of shit. Like, I had the same fucking thing happen at a sandwich shop in fucking Santa Cruz, of all places, where, like, some fucking artisan sandwich place, and I like order my sandwich and like I don't want any of the crazy shit like that they're putting on these sandwiches. So I'm like, I just want like a pretty basic one. And she's like, this, and I order the sandwich. She's like, this is all you want on it? And I'm like, yeah. And it's a fucking, I'm like, what kind of attitude is this? And then my fucking order comes up. She's like, here's your plain sandwich. And I'm just like, what the fuck, lady?
I think the key word there that when you said it like sparked it in my brain. Maybe it's just like the artisan thing, like these, like it's all the fucking like offshoot, yeah, like all the small coffee shops or the, like you said, artisan sandwich. Like it's so weird. Like why are you trying to ostracize like the largest user base of people, like just normal people? I don't want your caramelized pepperoncinis or whatever the fuck you're trying to put on there. Sounds okay, maybe it's good, but right now I don't want it. She had to give you shit about it.
Fuck you, lady.
Yeah, so I don't know, there's you think that's like a young person cultural kind of internet fuck everything, and you have to be like random and cool all the time? I don't know.
I'm sure if we talked to somebody that's worked in the service industry like that they would shed some light on it. But I haven't worked a service job before.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Because trust me, I've worked plenty of fucking before I got. I've done food service and normal food service.
Okay.
And yeah, you're just basically like, the customer's always right. You gotta, but they don't pay you enough to like really care that much. Where it's like these people, it's not that they don't care, it's that they care too much about the wrong shit.
Yeah.
So, confirm that it's more specific to the people that are drawn to these, like, artistic restaurants. It's like, it's fucking food. It's food. Eat it. If it's good, fine. If I don't want the extra stuff, let me eat I'm paying you money to eat your fucking food. That's the business model.
If I cared about your fucking opinion and attitude towards what I fucking order, I would have just had you order my food for me, bitch. Like, I don't need your fucking lip service. This is what I want. Give it to me and don't be fucking snooty.
Right, they would probably be equally as annoyed if you were like asking them to tell you about every single thing on the menu. Describe to me in detail how all of these entrees are unique.
Which soda does this sandwich pair with best?
Well, I'd have to say a nice old-fashioned root beer, of course.
Yeah.
Just look at the flavor tones listed on the menu. This has flavor tones of mahogany.
The sugar and chemicals are really brought out by this cured meat.
Sugary acidity of the soda really comes out.
Oh, all right. Let's move on to our next segment. You want to give us the breakdown?
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Bad. Music.
Hey, everybody that's already been listening to the podcast. This is hella bad music. So, yeah, we've been doing this one a few times because let's just face it, this is like a limitless fucking well of content. So, there's a lot of bad music. And, but you trust us, we're only going to bring you the most important of the bad music.
My hope is that we burn through all of the mainstream bad music, that we can just start picking up people's mixtapes off the street and shitting on their content. Be like real assholes.
Yeah, like personally attacking people. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Roy on the corner of 5th and Market. He's handing out his shitty ass mixtapes. His music's garbage. Don't ever buy it.
He's there around like 7 to 9 at night. You go there, you go talk some shit, tell him Hella Rad sent you, kick his ass.
Yeah. Slap his CDs out of his hand. Be like, nobody buys CDs anymore, bitch. Yeah. Put it on SoundCloud.
Give it up. It's all trash. So anyways, yeah, that's the goal of this segment eventually, is that we'll be using our platform to allow people to harass others. All right, so what the fuck? This hella bad music is about the breakdown, which you probably are like, I don't know what that is because it wasn't that big, but it's basically one of these old 2000s rock, like all the generic shit came out. There's this one band called Tantric, and their song was Breakdown. And let me just give you a little taste so we can establish some context on this. This is the chorus of the song that we're discussing.
I know the breakdown. Everything is gonna shake now someday. I know the breakdown. Tell me again, am I awake now? Maybe you can find the reason that no one else is living this way. Yeah, living this way. Yeah.
Oh my god. So why I brought this to the segment is because it's really just from the fucking chorus. Like the rest of it's just it could be whatever, but like the words that they chose and just went with, like they sing it with such conviction, but to me it sounds like literally a video where they're impersonating English and it doesn't make sense. And it sounds like what this chorus is. Like you can't draw any meaning out of what he's saying. Like only a very thinly veiled thread of logic, like given a lot of assumptions, could make it make sense. And I just as a preface to the audience, I would encourage you to, if you are curious, to just listen to the song and really get a feel for what I'm talking about. Don't go check out the music video. Don't do this or that. Or if you do, pull it up on YouTube. Don't watch or anything. Just put on your headphones, fucking shut out everything, and just listen to it isolated the whole way through. And fucking tell me that it makes any sense. Like, it's so stupid.
It's like when like you were like younger and you listen to like some like rap songs or like fucking like club hits, and you just sing along not realizing what they're talking about, and it's like then you look at it and you're like, oh, they're talking about like straight fucking people on the dance floor, selling drugs, or like killing people. But this is like the opposite, where you're like you really think about it and you're like, oh, this makes no sense. Yeah. This is
there's nothing behind it. Yeah, there's no like weird,
this is words.
Nothing sinister behind it or anything. It's literally words. So we don't have to beat this too hard with the hammer, but I do want to call specific attention to the statement at the back end of the chorus, which is, you can find the reason that no one else is living this way. And that's really the one that makes me think of those videos where they like imitate English like from another language, and it's like, this is what English sounds to us, but it's all gibberish. So I have a little clip where it's at the end, they have like a cascading vocal arrangement for this part of the song, and it's just hilariously bad. So I just had to play it real quick just so people really kind of get a taste for what I'm talking about.
You can find the reason that no one else is living that way.
Look how produced this is. And no one was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. You think it's really lazy when you think about it. Like, they're leaving it up to you to interpret anything out of the song. They're like, you're the one that can figure out why no one's living this way. Like, we're not going to explain why people are. It's like, that's your fucking job. But there's no detail or context. So it's like there's a story here that you left out.
You can find the reason that no one else is living this way. You can find the reason that... Wait, find the reason that what? That no one... So no one's doing this. Wait, so I can find the reason that no one else, but who? Me or you? Is living in what way? Like, this is so fucking...
Maybe if I keep changing where I inflect... It'll make sense at some point.
It's like a bad fucking Shatner monologue or something.
Yeah.
It's like, you can find the reason that no one else is living this way.
That's what we need before Shatner passes. May it never happen. He needs to do a remake of Tantric's The Breakdown.
That would actually, like, whatever year that dropped, that would make my year. That would be like, whatever shitty thing happened that year, it's all okay because of Shatner's.
I'd go to that concert.
Yeah. Clearly it will never happen, but if it does, that'd be awesome.
I don't know. We need to put an effort to tank Shatner's career for like a third time so that he's forced to do this.
I was going to say, like, I think he's done a pretty good job himself of taking his own career.
Yeah. The last thing I remember him from is Boston Legal, and I never watched that show.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty fleeting moment kind of show. Like, oh yeah, that was on like a season or two, or was it? Or
you watched the first season of Boston Legal on Fox? It had William Shatner in it. Did they have more than one season? I don't fucking know. I stopped watching.
Yeah, I think he could just kind of coast off of what he's done. I'm surprised that he even like does anything at this point. But
yeah, it's like he's like Mark Hamill, where it's like you're just a cultural icon, so you can exist in celebrity until you die.
They have the little asterisks, exist in celebrity, like the meme, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I just wanted to break down the breakdown, mostly because, it's kind of funny to say. And, yeah, I wanted to, anybody that did hear that back in the past and they forgot about it, well, you're welcome for bringing that memory back up into your mind of that shitty, awful song.
And if you can find the reason why no one else is living that way, email us. And on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Yaboo. Are you a combat wombat killing chicks with sticks? Well then, buddy, you need the combat log. Combat log give you serious traction for some definite action. Swing it super fast and whoop some ass. Combat log. When a simple stick won't do the trick, combat log. In your time of need, this wood will succeed. Combat log. Add some string, fish with that thing. Combat log. Need a fire before you retire? Combat log. Use this willow as a pillow. Combat log. Hold that lumber while you slumber. Get woken up, fuck 'em up. Combat log. Ready for a fight in the middle of the night. Combat log. Stretch with some timber, make you limber. Combat log. Available anywhere. Logs lay, wood is waiting, cedar seen, or oak is available. But wait. Do you need a dog to go with that log? Try Combat Dog. Name him Percy, he'll show no mercy. Combat Dog. Inject him with PCP, he'll fight with glee. Combat Dog. Bored to death, get high off his breath. Combat Dog. Sick of Combat Dog? Get rid of it with Combat Log. Can't do it yourself? Need some help? Try Combat Bob. He's not a 10, but he'll be your friend. Combat Bob. He's dumb as fuck, but he drives a truck. Combat Bob. Buy all three, no chance to flee. It's a triple threat that's a safe bet.
Meet Darren, a run-of-the-mill high school student who misses his dead grandpa. He's about to find out there's a lot more to learn about his dead grandpa than he ever imagined. When he discovers a portal to the ghost world that only opens when you're having sex.
Oh, Darren, you're making me so hot now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm finally having sex. Darren! The family treasure. You must find the treasure.
Holy shit, what the fuck? Is that you, Grandpa?
What the fuck are you talking about, Darren? I swear I let you fuck me once and you start talking about your grandpa?
You don't see my grandpa's ghost over there?
Oh my god, you are such a creep. Get the fuck off of me.
Darren's got to make a choice to leave his family in order to save his family by finding the family treasure.
Dad, did Grandpa ever tell you about a family treasure?
Oh, please don't tell me you found his old journal. That thing is batshit crazy. There's no treasure there, and just forget about it.
But Dad, Grandpa's ghost told me about the treasure. I've never even seen the journal.
I swear to God, Darren, are you fucking high right now? What are you talking about, Grandpa's ghost?
I'm not high, and I did see his ghost. He told me I need to find the family treasure.
There's no family treasure. Just forget about it.
But Dad, with this treasure, we could pay off the bank and we could keep the house.
Darren, it's not that big of a deal. We're gonna move into a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. You'll get used to it. We'll be fine.
You know what? Fuck you, Dad.
Now Darren's gotta find a way to keep coming so he can get going on the quest for the family treasure. With the help of his best friend Driggle, he's traveling the country, tracking down women who are willing to have sex with him, so he can briefly open the ghost portal and get additional clues from his dead grandpa.
Grandpa, where the fuck did you leave me? Everybody wants to kill me and nobody wants to fuck me. And even when I finally fuck someone, I come way too fast. There isn't enough time for you to give me more clues. I need help.
Hey, buddy.
Driggle, is that you?
No time to explain. Just grab the vibrating egg. We gotta get out of here, man.
What?
Just grab it. I'm getting you out of here. We gotta go.
A story of love, friendship, and family treasure. Be sure to check out Ghost Treasure in theaters this holiday season.
Yabu. And we're back from that exciting commercial break. Let's just get right into our next topic. We're going to talk about the finer things in life.
It's another segment of Hella Fancy. It's one of our favorite segments, mostly because of the intro. And this episode, we're going to talk about the Brazen Bull, also known as the Bronze Bull. And just to fill you in, so I brought this to Hella Fancy just because it's an ancient torture device. So that isn't inherently Hella Fancy, but it was built for a very fancy ruler. And he would host fancy, lavish parties with the Brazen Bull. So what this thing is it's a torture device that is literally a bull. It's like a bronze bull that they built, and he I don't know, I wouldn't say contracted or whatnot, but he basically forced somebody to make this for him. This artist, Perios, and what it is outside of the the obvious, it's a bronze bull. Internally, it's designed to put a person inside of it, and it has this like series of tubes that are intended to make basically the sound of a bull, you know. And the reason that it would do that with these tubes is because the other important part about this is that you light a fire under the bull while the person's inside, and you close the hatch on top and force them inside while they're burning to death. So while they're trying to get air out of the only tube in the entire apparatus, it makes it sound like they're a bull mooing and shit.
Oh, fuck. So it's the sound of them trying to suck air in that's causing the noise?
So they built it,
God.
they designed it so it'd make this, you know, they make the sound while they're trying to like, well, you know, you're getting burned alive inside of a bronze bull, and there's nothing except this little like mouthpiece inside. That's the only, like, at some point your survival instinct kicks in, so you're like, I'm trying to live. That's a pretty fucking sadistic device, and it's so crazy because so the guy that commissioned this, Phalaris, it was this old, fucking awful ruler, clearly. So this was like, according to what I've read or the legend of the history of this, he would have these parties, and this would be like the centerpiece of these, lavish dinner parties, and they'd be fucking burning some motherfucker alive inside of it while everybody's just hanging out and having a good time. And some of the stuff that I read was they also like, just because, they didn't want to fucking kill the vibe of the party with the smell of burning flesh, they would like put aromatic herbs and stuff inside so that while they're burning him alive, it didn't smell so bad. It's like one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard. But the best part about this story, and this is, I guess, as with all history, is debatable whether it's true, but the legend has it is that once the artist that was commissioned to make it, Perios, did finish completing it, the dictator himself, Phalaris, to try it out to make sure it worked, he wanted to know if the sound works. So he told him, "Hey, can you get in and show me how the sound works?" So so you can see where the story's going. Perios gets inside, and as soon as they do it, he has one of his fucking henchmen close the fucking chute closed, and fucking the first person he used on the brazen bull was the guy that made it, and he fucking burned that motherfucker alive.
Dude, this is part of the plot of the movie Jackal, where Bruce Willis commissions Jack Black's character to make him this like computer controlled minigun. And then he fucking goes and tells him to stand out in the field so he can.
Is he calibrating it and he shoots his fucking arm off or some shit?
Yeah, he just fucking blows his arm off, then fucking wipes him away. It's like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly inspired by the Brazen Bull.
My thought here is so the two guys' names were what again?
So the ruler, the guy that actually,
Perios.
The Phalaris was the ruler that basically commissioned it. I would imagine at that time they didn't commission things from artists. They're just like, oh, well, do this because otherwise I'll fucking kill you. And he still killed him anyways. But yeah, Phalaris was the guy the ruler that commissioned the Brazen Bull, and then Perios was the guy that actually made it, and according to legend, met his eventual demise inside of the torture device he himself was forced to make.
He probably is making it up. He's like, look what this fucking psycho wants me to build. Like, this shit is insane. Like, what kind of fucking crazy person wants to make some shit like this? And then he gets inside of it and he's just like, oh, fuck me. Also, imagine being the dude that has to clean this shit out. That's gotta be the worst job imaginable. You're like, oh, god damn it. I gotta get in here and scoop out the roasted remains and fucking cinnamon incense that they threw in here with the dead guy. This is fucking great.
Or do you think that they didn't even bother to clean it and they just kept piling on the fucking corpses and herbs every time?
Yeah, the next living guy that they drop in there, oh, it's gross in there, but don't worry, you won't have to worry about it long. Fucking terrible.
So just to kind of come full circle though on the story of the Brazen Bull, when Phalaris was eventually killed or overthrown, again according to legend, as all history is, the first thing that the people did was throw that fucking Brazen Bull right into the ocean after they killed him.
Fuck this thing. We gotta make sure the next guy doesn't start using this fucking bullshit.
So that is the little story of the Brazen Bull. It's just, I know it may be a stretch for hell of fancy, but it was like a centerpiece of fancy parties in the ancient world. It couldn't have been a more sadistic form of a fancy thing, it is a very unique.
Hey, I mean, we do kind of just talk about the centerpiece of a few of these segments has been the crazy shit that rich people do. So this is still in line with that.
One thing I do want to just mention on this one, I was kind of digging in a little further. They have some, if you look it up online, there's a couple of videos. If you stumble on the right video, there's this guy that is talking about the brazen bull it's like they took a clip from something on TV, and tell you, this motherfucker is a little too excited to be talking about it. He's like, this guy's a little pee-pee hard about it. He's just like, the beautiful design of the brazen bull is that, and the way he's describing like how it makes the bull sound. You know, the way I described it, it didn't sound like I was getting a boner the whole time. At least I hope so. But the way this guy describes it, yeah.
He's like, I made a small replica in my backyard that I tested on rats. It works perfectly.
Yeah, when I saw that clip, I'm like, we should be investigating this guy. He does not seem like a stable person.
This motherfucker's got a full-scale one in his basement that he doesn't want anybody to know about.
It's a little too into this ancient torture device.
All right. Well, that is about as morbid as it gets. Should we move on to one of our favorite segments? One of our early ones that we started, some power underwhelming.
Power underwhelming.
With underwhelming power comes no responsibility.
All right. Since nobody keeps track of who's winning or what the score is, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. My power underwhelming ability for this episode is the ability to withstand any decibel level of sound without damaging your hearing.
You know where I think that power would go well is I was watching the Scott Pilgrim movie recently.
Oh God.
And like so much of that is like fucking like battling with sound waves from guitars and shit. You just imagine some guy like, nah, it's all good. Like, I don't know why you fucking play the music louder. I'm just gonna come up to the stage and kick your ass in the nuts, and then this fight's over. Like, fuck your guitar and your speakers to do battle with me. Like, you can eat a dick.
Well, it's more about not damaging your hearing, but if it was actually like forcing them back to the power of the rock, I think that this power wouldn't affect that specifically. I don't know. I forget Scott Pilgrim because I haven't watched it recently. But what's the premise of the music battle again? Are the sound waves causing physical distress that where they're moving?
In some of the fights, it'll be like, because he's in a band, so it'll be like one of the fights they have is like one band battling against another, and they're just trying to play like louder and louder versus each other, and like it's stupid though because like they're an actual band with like instruments and shit, and then the guys are competing against are like these twin like DJs, and they're just like fucking turning the volume up higher on their mixer to like emit more sound. It's like, wow, you really see a big difference in effort here. This is nonsense.
Not to go too far off on a tangent on DJs, but just as a quick thought for everybody, have you noticed that they're all gone? There's no DJs anymore. They're all gone.
Yeah.
They don't advertise them anymore. They're not part of the musical lexicon. But
yeah, do people still go to the Electric Daisy Carnival and shit like that?
So your argument is that in the Scott Pilgrim world, it would be an invaluable resource.
Yeah, yeah. That's about the only applicable situation where that's cool. Because otherwise, you're basically just a deaf person, but you can still hear. I don't know, like.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Like, I don't know how well other way to like simplify that any better. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'd be perfect if you're a air traffic controller to save a company money. They're like, we don't have to give this specific guy the earmuffs when he goes out there.
He doesn't need earmuffs, yeah. I can go to a fucking shooting range and I don't need earmuffs for shit. Like, he's just a guy, like, he's in like a fucking, what is it? Like a carnival, like a freaks carnival. I forget what they're called. Like, the freak show for carnivals, and like, but his ability is just some guy holds 2 like desert eagles right next to his head and pulls both the triggers, and he doesn't flinch. Like, look, my ears aren't even bleeding, like, or they are bleeding from just the fucking shockwave, but he's like, no, I'm fine. Like, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, the trick is they have somebody from the audience come and whisper something in his ear, and he repeats it to the audience. Like, that's what I said.
Yeah, there you go.
You can totally hear.
Yeah. I'm not a plant. I'm not a plant at all. I'm a human.
So this superpower could get you some side cash at the freak show.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
I guess you could be like the ultimate roadie too, you know? Like the perfect sound check guy. No, go ahead, crank it up. No problem at all.
No, it's good. It's not too loud, Craig. No, it's good.
It's good.
It's
Yeah,
good.
sounds good. Are you sure it's not too loud? No problem at all.
Crank that shit up to 11.
It'd be the worst, actually. The worst sound check guy.
Yeah. So my ability was actually one brought up by a friend of ours that we will hopefully have is on the show reoccurring very soon. But this power would be the ability to imitate your brother's voice perfectly. And I'm like, this is gold. I don't know how you get any more. Like, you literally boil down like the essence of what we talk about with useless superpowers.
Well, I guess if Scott Pilgrim had a brother, this might be a good superpower, right? You know? We want to take it back to the Scott Pilgrim world to give it validity. No, it's pretty. Unless, like, the only way it works is if your brother has significant, like, international power, possibly, and you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
That could potentially be pretty impactful in global politics.
If you're a regular guy and your brother is like a superhero or supervillain giving out commands, what if your brother is like has some fucking like robot or beast at his verbal command, and then you can take it over? It's like basically hinges on your brother having cool powers and that require his voice. Like, that's the only way where that's useful.
So it depends. So yeah, it's like a lifelong journey. So you have to first realize that you have this power, and then once you do, you have to start really planning the long con game. You're like, so how do I start grooming my brother so that he does what I want, and then at the end of it, he takes the fall for all the evil shit that I've been trying to do, you know? That's the only advantage to being able to do that, right?
I just imagine like a comic book. It's like Morpheus. It's like 2 brothers, and it's like Morpheus has the power to command any human or animal on Earth with his voice, and his brother Steve has the power to mimic his voice.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, Frieza's brother has the ability to perfectly imitate his voice.
I like how all of Frieza's relatives in Dragon Ball Z had cold related names, like Cooler.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, they really had no problem with just completely retarded things. They were just like, yeah, I know this is stupid and dumb, but so what? Fuck you. You'll still watch like 3 episodes to watch one fight, you know? Fuck you. You'll watch 15 minutes of a guy screaming.
Yeah.
You want to? Yeah, you'll watch that.
Yeah, just a whole episode of Spirit Bomb.
Yeah, you'll watch some guy charging up for 10 minutes, but you're gonna complain about the Frieza names? Yeah, I didn't think so, buddy.
At least it's better than the modern ones where they fucking flashback a million times.
Is that what happens? I haven't watched them.
Yeah, we'll just rehash old content 20 times in one episode and show you 5 minutes of something original.
So they're flashing back to like the scenes where it's 15 minutes of charging up. Like, remember that time that I charged up and became Super Saiyan? Oh yeah, it must have went a little something like.
Remember when Goku said the Spirit Bomb?
For 15 minutes?
Or it just gets real meta. They're like, remember that flashback of when we flashback to the flashback of the first time we got on the ship and went to space?
Then Leo DiCaprio shows up and then he puts the top on the countertop and starts spinning it. They're like, oh shit, did he? Is Dragon Ball Z just an incepted idea in all of our minds? And then the top falls at the end.
And then they wake up and they're in Skyrim.
Yeah. That'd be the perfect ending to that.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, there's basically, we were discussing at one point how you have these different forms of memes. So where, like, you've all heard of like the Fresh Prince one where you tell a story and in text, then at the end of the story it basically turns into the lyrics to the theme song for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, the video equivalent of that is basically just whatever your video story is, and at the end the character wakes up and they're in the introduction to the video game Skyrim.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I like how some of them gotten some very elaborate. Like, I've been taken on a ride a few times, and then you're like, ah, you got me again.
I see what you did there.
You son of a bitch, you got me again. I swear to God, you wouldn't get me again, but here we are, and you got me again. So, yeah.
All right. So I don't know. We got to declare a winner for this Power Underwhelming.
Do we? I thought we established on the last episode that there really are no winners.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not about the winner or the loser. It's just about playing the game.
Plus, how would you be the winner? Because you literally stole Ed's idea and brought it to the table. So wouldn't Ed just be the winner? Like, how would you be the winner if you won that one?
Yeah.
By proxy?
I wouldn't be.
So,
but at least I didn't take credit as it for it as my own. I prefaced it as this was so good.
You did just establish that you wanted to declare a winner, so you were prepared to take credit for it.
Well, even if I did win, we wouldn't remember it next time. So what's it matter?
No, but we're here in the now. I'm calling you out. You got to deal with it. You can't just say, "We'll forget about it later."
Yeah.
I'm calling you out now. Oh, all right. Anyways,
you know what I need right now?
Oh no, I know what you need. That was Andrew's way of telling me I was getting way out of hand. We got to reel it in. So, this is the Faberge Egg update. And just as a quick recap of the possible 50 jeweled Imperial Faberge eggs, only 43 are still known to exist. And the last egg that was, quote unquote, publicly discovered in 2014 was the third Imperial Easter egg. And this is all about, will any more of them be found? And my answer to that is yes, they will. And I will tell you about it when it happens. Just to reiterate, I haven't changed this opinion, but just for anybody that hasn't heard it, I do speculate that the next egg found will be the Royal Danish egg, which is one made in 1903. I do think that that will be the next one that is found or unearthed of the missing Imperial Faberge eggs. In terms of just general Faberge egg news, there is it's been ongoing actually for a while, which is even though my resolution was to never do this podcast again, I did actually want to do it because of this piece of news. This is the only thing that made me want to do it. There is an exhibit for some Faberge eggs going on northwest of Moscow at the New Jerusalem Museum. So if you if you're in the area in Moscow, I know a lot of our listeners are in the Russian district. They're currently exhibiting the last two Imperial Faberge eggs ever made: the Carolean Birch egg and the Constellation egg. By the time you hear this, it'll probably be almost too late to go see it because the exhibit runs through March 24th. So you got very limited amount of time. And, I mean, there could be a delay in this podcast being released just by that time frame. I'll let you guys connect the dots, but I'm obviously a big fan of Faberge eggs, and there happens to be an opportunity to take a Faberge egg from somewhere that would be possibly less secure than others between now and March 24th. So yeah, just let you know. It's I will be, but I would to go with that. I would say that you got to make sure that you check FabergeEggUpdate.com daily, because those were all the immediate updates would go. So just continue to check that website every single day, and sometimes several times a day if you like. And don't be surprised if advertisements start showing up on it.
All right, that was fascinating. Before we close out the show, we just
you have no thoughts on that,
briefly
by the way.
about
No thoughts on the museum.
Well, I was gonna chime in about how we had originally planned to heist this event, but it fell through.
Well, that's what we want people to think. I've said too much. Let's wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah. I was saying before we give you our means to contact us, we wanted to let you in on a new movement we're starting. There's been something out there that we've just, we can't deal with this any longer. This son of a bitch has been getting away with his nonsense for way too long, and that is space. That thing above the earth that surrounds us.
The stuff that's in between all the stars and the planets.
Fuck that. It's been getting away with its bullshit for far too long, and we're not tolerating it anymore. So we're starting a campaign to kill space. We're going to end its life for good. So we need your help to let us know methods, means, ways, any ideas you have on how to accomplish this goal. So get a hold of us. Let us know how you think we should kill space, because it's going down, and it's going down for real.
Yeah, and to be totally honest, we have no idea to do it, so we do legitimately need your feedback.
Mm-hmm. We're not scientists. We're just activists here.
Yeah. We'll do that with the ideas what we need to. So send them to us. You can reach us several different ways. We're on Facebook at Hella Rad, and Twitter at It's Hella Rad. And if you check us out on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, you could probably find us pretty easily with Hella Rad. I don't know where we're at on the search results, but I would encourage you to subscribe to us on YouTube, because I looked up Hella Rad just as a curiosity, and there's a couple other channels that are called Hella Rad, and all of them are under the subscriber limit to get the unique domain. So we really want to get that, because the other ones look like they're total shit channels. So let's I know this isn't much better, but it's a little bit better. So let's get us to 100.
Get us to 100, baby.
Or at least to 12. It would be a start.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Yabu.
But anyway, yeah. So I don't. In terms, I guess
This is words.